From Tally to Cali,
It's time
to wake up.
Wake up! Wake up! Warchant.com is your ultimate Seminole sports source.
and this is Wake Up Warchant, presented by Zaxby's
Now here's Warchant.com's Aslan Hajavandi.
and Corey Clark.
Yeah, that's right. Here we are. He's Corey. I'm Aslan. Thanks so much for joining us for this live edition of Wake Up Warchant, presented by Zaxby's Indescribably Good. Hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. This will be one of our last shows of the week. We'll do over-under, and we also have a little pro football focus deep dive, as they say in the industry, Corey. That'll be awaiting folks on Friday. The promo code you see on your screen, it's a pretty solid promo code. Gets you 30 free days of access. But boom, Black Friday sale's already going right now. Nike 75. Come on, join the family. We need all the help we can get, everybody.
Bring it. Bring it.
We're not digging out of this hole. We're not finding the sunken treasure at the bottom of the ocean. We're not dicking the car out of the ditch, whatever metaphor Corey likes. We're not doing it without you all helping out. So use the promo code Nike 75, $75 Nike e-card, and then pretty much $75 for an annual membership. Can't beat it. Corey, how are you, man?
I'm good, buddy. How are you doing? Doing all right? Is this light too bright on my head? Is it bouncing off my head a little too much?
I mean, we got to put some powder on you, maybe, kind of.
Seems really bright.
But, you want it to hit your face. Whatever you're trying to light, we got to get you a light that's facing you instead of.
Well, it's facing me. It's just, it's really bouncing off the dome.
You can't.
So you're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. Thanks for watching.
We are going to do a little bit of a different sort of a twist to this. We're going to also make this a Renegade Express edition of the program, try to take as many questions as we possibly can. And we'll also take phone calls. Let's just get right to a phone call right now, Corey. We spoke to Mike Norvell. They play Virginia. They're a 2-possession underdog to Virginia at home. That's where we are. I'm sure people will want us to ask us more about that. But let's go right to Gator Kirk. He's been waiting. Gator, how are you, friend?
Hey, gentlemen, how you doing tonight?
You hear that voice? You hear that voice?
Man, he's picked it up. He has picked it up. It's a holiday season, holiday edition of Gator Kirk. It's good to hear.
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of haters out there, so I got to change it up today. So, that's what it is. So, before I forget, I hope you guys have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. I didn't get in on the promo code because my my subscription automatically renewed on the 20th. So, hey, that's all right. Still love it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up. My question is, do you think we'll cover the spread?
I think if Jordan Travis plays and stays in the game, I do. I think they do. If he does not, if he is just half speed or not his normal self because he doesn't want to take a hit, or if he's not playing, I don't think there's a chance in Hades that they cover the spread. But if Jordan Travis plays and is effective, I think they do.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, because again, when's the last time we saw him play healthy for the better part of 4 quarters, Corey?
North Carolina.
What happened that night?
I believe they won. Now, they did not score in the second half of that game, but didn't need it. Put up 31 in the first. Didn't need any more points.
That's sort of the maddening thing about this team, I guess, Gator Kirk, right, is that obviously we know all the injuries they've had on defense, but that quarterback position, everything changes if Jordan Travis is healthy. It's a big if, though, it seems like, just with everything kind of piling up in the season, kind of coming to a close. But I guess I'll maybe piggyback on Corey's point. If he can play the whole game, I think they do keep it close. Although, man, Virginia's been scoring points, Corey. I mean, I know Abilene Christian was the last one out, but they put points on North Carolina more so than Florida State did. I forget who else they hung close to 40 on, but they're not.
Louisville. They put up a bunch on Louisville. I think they beat Louisville back in a shootout, and then they beat North Carolina too in a shootout.
Yeah, so
it's not a typical Virginia defense, and they just lost their best player. So you would hope that Florida State can move the ball a little bit, and score some points actually. But the Florida State defense is going to struggle, because they're going to be on the field, so they'll probably struggle a little bit.
All right, Gator, what are you going to be doing for the game? You're going to be watching 8 o'clock ACC Network, tuned in, dialed in?
Oh, yeah, we're lucky down here in 757. We actually get the ACC Network.
Nice.
Actually, we're near UVA and all of that, Central Virginia. They don't get it, so I'm not sure what they do. Don't really care what they do.
Right, that's right.
But no, I'll be watching it for sure. all you guys out there, all you fans, make sure you support Zaxby's. If you haven't joined Warchant, go on, get your hookup and join Warchant. And y'all, as always, go Noles. Y'all have a great night. Appreciate y'all taking my call.
Absolutely.
And everyone be safe this Thanksgiving and this holiday.
That's right. Mr. 757 Gator Kirk calling in, starting us off as he always does, man. We appreciate you. Don't listen to the haters. I got a whole bunch of them that say stuff about me, and I don't care. You know who I care about, though, Corey? I care about pillars of this program. People who support us through thick and thin. People who give us some tips every now and then, and people who are subscribers. I appreciate Mark. I'm thankful for Mad AMCZ. I'm thankful for having a soundboard that lets me do this. Let's go, man.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Let's go, Corey. Dance for the man. That's right. Shout out John Scott. John Scott still doesn't like me yelling and playing music when people throw tips our way, man. You the man.
That's crazy, Mark. That's awesome. So his name is Matt. I know we've gone over this, but it was a long time ago. His name on the board is Matt AMCZ.
Mad, M-A-D.
Matt. Oh, mad. Like mad. Like
Mad world.
Mad love. Okay, I got you. I thought you were always saying Matt, and I could never figure out like why he would call himself Matt. Okay, all right, Mark, I got it. Mad dog.
There you go.
That's good stuff, man. That's awesome, man. That's very, very nice. $150 for the podcast listeners. I'm thinking $150 might cover a consult for Dabo at the Insane Asylum. Any rate, happy Thanksgiving to you, Aslan and Corey. We truly thank you for the show every day. Go Noles. That's very, very nice, Mark. Thank you so much. We certainly appreciate you and all the listeners, but that's a very hefty and very humbling donation.
Yeah, let's shoot over to the Renegade Express part of the show. Let's go ahead and take Mark's question off the message board over on warchant.com.
He deserves it, doesn't he?
Yeah, a little bit probably. Again, that promo code Nike75. Use it so you can join us on the message boards. He says, "Wake up." And also throws $150 American dollars at us. Clemson, for me, has now surpassed Florida and Miami as public enemy number 1 for Florida State. Yeah, Steve Spurrier used to run his mouth, and he was annoying, but it was just about football. What Dabo has done the past few days shocks the conscience. He was willing to expose FSU players and staff to a plane full of exposed Clemson players. Then he publicly calls out FSU, denies that COVID was the reason for postponement. He's a disgrace to the coaching profession, and he just started a war with FSU that will come back to bite him at some point. Go Noles.
Well, the last part there is what all Florida State fans are hoping for, but that's a long way from happening. Obviously, that's not happening overnight. That will not happen in the next couple of years. But there might be a chance, a time when there is a comeuppance. It doesn't mean there is going to be, but there is a chance, like Urban, that one year, he got his comeuppance. There is a chance that Norvell or somebody after Norvell, you hope it's Norvell, delivers a comeuppance to Dabo because, yeah, he's truly, in my opinion, embarrassed himself the last few days. I don't have a problem with him. The Clemson media was like pointing out, hey, all you national folks and FSU folks are getting mad at him because he's still talking about Florida State. Well, he's being asked about Florida State, which, okay, sure. He's not bringing it up on his own. People are asking him questions. He's just answering them. But his answers are dumb. That's what we have a problem with. He continually, he brings up that I don't take advice from Tallahassee. They've had 3 coaches in 4 years. I've been here 18 years. It's like, buddy, this is bigger than that nonsense. And you're the same guy that said that we were going to be playing in front of packed stadiums this year, and that we were going to squash COVID because we're a country that built the iPhone. Like you have a team that almost has herd immunity. They've had so many cases. So your track record on this particular subject, not building a championship contender, because you can talk about that all day. You should. It's very admirable what he's done over there. But talking about this particular subject, you don't have the standing to do it. Your track record is so porous, you don't get to tell other people what they should or shouldn't do and call out other schools about this particular subject because you've been off for 6 months on it now. 7 months, 8 months. And he keeps bringing up, I guess on his call-in show, he brought up again that I know for a fact Pitt traveled with a player that tested positive and they still played the game. That's not a fact. That's the opposite of a fact. It's a lie. I think it's a lie of a misunderstanding. I don't think Dabo is intentionally telling a lie, but he is spreading a falsehood. And his fan base is eating it up. I guess that's all that matters to him, but it's a falsehood. And it's really frustrating, and it's bizarre that the ACC hasn't talked about it, but we don't. This doesn't have to be a Dabo show. We've done too much of that. But again, every day he says something else.
Big ballin', smashing.
I mean, 150 American dollars.
You did it, Mark. That was for you, man. I don't care one way or the other. I don't care what Dabo says. That was for you, buddy.
People still want to talk about Dabo, though, Corey. Team Money Noles over on the Tribal Council says, wake up or wake up. Considering all the craziness on social media the last 3 days, which Dabo name will stick? Wishing both of you a great Turkey Day. Dr. Dabo, Dabo Dumb, or Old Wuhan Dabo?
Dabo Dumb's a good one. Dr. Dabo, I think, is probably the best one because it's so like, imagine again walking into a clinic or a ER and a guy named Dr. Dabo peers over you as you're about to go into surgery. That would not, you'd get up and run away.
Did you bring your guts? Random _ John, greetings and salutations, gentlemen. In your opinion, what benefit does the ACC leadership see in letting one program publicly insult another? If Clemson decides to not play a game against FSU, and if Pitt cancels on them due to COVID, would Clemson be barred from a playoff? If so, how does the ACC handle that? Do they just put up their fingers in the air and scream, la, 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 I can't hear you, or rather their fingers in their ears and say, la, 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 I can't hear you? And would they be forced to reckon with the impulsive meltdown sure to come from Dabo? At some point, his shenanigans will have to be handled.
I don't think Clemson will be barred from a playoff.
Yeah, no.
I think they've played enough games already that I think, look at that. I think they've already earned a berth in the championship game, right?
Yeah.
Weirdly,
Notre Dame has been. Clemson's lost. I mean, Clemson's going to lose a game, and then Miami wins.
I guess Miami gets in. Yeah. Weirdly, as a member of the Florida State media, I haven't been really keeping up with the playoff scenarios or the ACC championship game scenarios like I used to. But yeah, no, I don't think they'd be barred from the playoff. And look, I don't understand what the ACC is doing. I'm on record as saying that. It's their silence is deafening and infuriating. And just let these two coaches hash it out. It's not like it's a big topic like COVID, so just let them talk it amongst themselves and air public grievances without saying anything.
Yeah, I don't know what there's nothing to benefit. I guess apparently
I don't think Clemson could just decide not to play the game though. Like, how would they get the right to just say the ACC said, by the way, the ACC can make, like, that should come out any day now. But the ACC should say we have rescheduled that game for December 12th. I think they want to wait to see what happens with the Pitt game. Like, if Pitt can't play, do they then move that game to December 12th? And then, but I think either way, Clemson's going to be playing on December 12th. So I don't foresee why they would let Clemson get a home game but take one away from Florida State. But this could be. That
would really be the sort of, maybe pretend or implied paranoia that's out there with Florida State fans from the conference. Yeah, if the ACC, if that game gets canceled, Clemson Pitt, and they decide to use the 12th to reschedule the Pitt game and not Florida State, that's I don't know. I mean, people are asking, like, does this open the door for Florida State to leave the conference? I mean, those chairs, that musical chair stuff is over with. This is home for a while, and it's unfortunate that no one's had their back. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know, if tables returned and Florida State was in that position, we probably would appreciate the silence on things. But such is life. Such is life. Hey, I know everybody doesn't want to talk about Dabo, but Steven Strasbaugh dropped some dollars in the tip jar, so he gets a little bit of a horn action for everybody. Oh, if I could actually do it correctly. If I could. Sorry, Steven. We appreciate the $10. Are we worried with all the backlash from Clemson that Dabo is going to light up the scoreboard when they play in December? Sorry if you've already spoke on this. I'm late to the party. Go, no.
Well, they're going to light up the scoreboard. They could play tomorrow. It doesn't matter. And that's the thing. I don't think Dabo showed any. I'm sure Dabo is going to. Dabo's the kind of guy, in my opinion, that looks for any reason to feel offended. He did it a couple years ago when his fans were a little upset that they only beat South Carolina like 56-42. Like, you guys are spoiled. He'll find a reason to feel offended or get defensive about his program or feel attacked. And he did it. Was it last year when he was complaining about losing the number 1 ranking even though they were undefeated or something? And it's like, buddy, that happened in 2014 with a Florida State team that was pretty good too.
The one with like the rest of y'all bus. He's like, we're not. he gave it an acronym and everything. Yeah, he plays the whole disrespect thing. He's Rodney Dangerfield.
So he's definitely going to play that up to his team. Like, these guys didn't want to play you. They tried to duck you. Let's go out and hand it to him. But also, he was the same guy that was throwing bombs to his kid up 59-3 2 years ago against Willie Taggart, who had done nothing to anger him. So the truth of the matter is, it's really not going to matter. Dabo is going to come for blood no matter who he's playing, no matter who's coaching, and what the situation is when it comes to Florida State. I think that, and I truly think that, what was the score? Was it 51-14, right? From 13?
Yes.
51-14. I think that the 51-14 win will always resonate with Dabo, always. Spurrier had one like that against Georgia. Like, he lost. I don't think he ever beat Georgia as a player. So when he played them as a coach, he always wanted to beat them by 100. He wanted to set records against them. So I think Dabo, because of those losses, 12, 13, and 14, especially that one right there, the 51-14 game, I think he's always going to look to run up the score against Florida State. That one will always bother him, even 7 years later, which is understandable. He's a competitor. But yes, I think he's going to light up. He's going to try to light up the scoreboard, but he better be careful. And I'm never advocating for personal fouls or violence or dirty hits. But if you're up 50-0 on a team and you're throwing bombs and you're trying to embarrass them, some kids don't take kindly to that, and you've got a game the next week. So I'm not even saying you dive at a kid's knee, but maybe you push one of their kids and their kid tries to punch you. Now he's not playing in the ACC championship game. You've got to worry about that stuff too. So Dabo needs to be a little careful with running up the score, but he will definitely try to.
Yeah. I jumped the gun on this. This is from CDub34 over on the warchant.com tribal council. Good morning, although evening, to you and I, he says. Thank you for
both. You hear that? I just spiked that Coke bottle.
Is that what just happened?
Yeah.
So go back and forth. Thanks, he says, or she maybe, for what you all do day in and day out for Nole Nation. Per Wake Up Warchant protocol, first question, I'm from Sarasota. I would say Paul Pirowski is the most famous Seminole from here. There we go. Sarasota, also home to the former first lady of Wake Up.
Never the first lady of Warchant, but she was the first lady of
Wake Up Warchant. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, she was the first lady of Simple Headlines.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shanna is from Sarasota. I think, is Randy Go Lightly? Do you remember that name?
Yeah.
I think he might be from Sarasota. And then Peter Ward's from Bradenton. That's close, but it's not Sarasota.
Yeah. How about our guy Steve Levy last night talking about during the Bucks-Rams game played in Tampa, talking about some guy played his high school ball right up the road in Jacksonville.
Well, technically it's up the road.
Yeah.
It's 75 is the road, and it's up a few hours, but sure.
Their question was, is the controversy between FSU and Clemson right now an opportunity for the Noles to push the ACC to switch divisions with Miami? Is that something people want to do?
I'm trying to think about that. Well, yeah, you would. You'd love to get out of the conference with Clemson. But no, I don't think so. And the other question about leaving the conference, no. I think this is something where if you didn't have a lame duck president, and really, I don't know if you'd call him a lame duck AD, but Coburn still, I know he's not an interim, but he's I don't know that he's completely, I don't know, I want to say enriched, but that's not right. Engraved in that job. And it feels like, and that's not the word either. Sorry, folks. It's late. Had a long day.
Entrenched?
Entrenched. Not really, but that works. As the AD, so maybe somebody with, Thrasher was just in his first year or second year as president. Maybe he'd have gone to Swofford 3 days ago and said, this is ridiculous. How dare you treat us like this? How dare you let him shoot these arrows at us? But, Thrasher's on his way out. Heck, for that matter, Swofford's on his way out. He doesn't care. He just wants to announce where the basketball tournament's going to be.
James,
but I don't think they're going to. I don't think that it will be lead to a push to switch to the division. And would you want that? I don't know. You get to play Duke, Virginia Tech, Georgia. You get to play Georgia Tech every year. I guess that's something.
James B says new ACC commissioner has to be outside the triangle, or we will forever be hated by the conference. So that's
yeah. It's just been disappointing, and it's just been disappointing. That's all. I mean, there isn't an ACC network. There really isn't an ACC. with the way it is now, if it's not for Florida State. We all know that. We also know that Florida State is terrible right now, so people want to kick them when they're down. But you should remember what this school has done for your conference, and to let he's not a Johnny come, the Dabo come lately, but it's not. They've been around for a decade. They've been good for a decade. But for the king of the conference to feel the need to punch down and admonish another school, a school that's the reason that the ACC became a football conference, is really disappointing that Swapper would let that go on. But what are you going to do? Dabo's running the show.
Opposite of disappointing. Look at this. Look at this.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that Abby. Look at that avatar.
Just play it all. Play all the music for him, Aslan.
Everything around me. Green, get the money.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Big ballin', smashing, making my
100 American dollars from JK64_99. Maybe they played on the 99 team, Corey. Maybe the 99 favorite
number 64 on the 99 team.
Yeah.
I'll look that up while you read the question.
No question. Just want to say thank you to all the War Chant staff. Gene has put together an awesome team. He's pretty good at this thing. He's figured it out. Yeah, we appreciate it. Gene's the dude. We love
Yes,
Gene.
thank you very much.
Is there a 64 on the 99 team?
Hey, man, give me a second. Jeez.
Oh, now you know how it feels to be me. Welcome to Looking Up Lifestyle. All right, while you do that, let's bring in a phone call. They've been hanging tight for over 20 minutes. This is from, looks like somewhere in North Carolina. I think this is probably Daryl, Captain D_63. Daryl, is that you?
Yeah, this is me. How you doing, Aslan? How you doing, Corey?
There he is.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
We're doing fine. Hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving, and hope you stay safe. My question is, I'm not. It seems like when you watch some of the SEC football games, it seems like when they show their like pan across the stadium, now it may be some false I guess what I'm saying, false photography or something like that. But it seems like they having maybe like 25, 30,000 fans in the stadium. If Florida State had maybe upped their fan base, instead of having 13 to 18,000 to maybe 25 to 30. Would that have helped some of the revenue this past year, Corey?
I try to, didn't they? They seemed like they had a bigger crowd for the Tech game, and then they whittled it down a little bit. But I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. Like, I know that. I mean, obviously Dan Mullen had a problem with the A&M crowd. He wanted the Swamp Pack the next week because it was 35 or 40,000 at A&M. At Georgia, it seems.
Auburn. Did you see the Auburn Tennessee game? Man, Auburn I think is at 75% capacity, and they're
taking advantage of it. And Georgia, they're spaced out more, but they're there. Look, when it comes to Florida State, I thought that for what it could be, I thought the crowd in the North Carolina game was pretty good. I thought it sounded like on TV that it got really loud there at the end.
Well, remember, Corey, I think after the way it looked on TV with the Georgia Tech game with nobody wearing a mask, I think for the Jacksonville State game, if you were a student, you had to provide a negative test from COVID to be able to be allowed into the game.
And they erased that.
Yeah, I remember when I left the stadium after filming pregame for North Carolina, I was, wow, like this place is a lot more crowded than it was last time around. So I think we'll see that.
And I think for Virginia, you'll have that. I'm really interested now. Again, I know they have a cap. Who knows what that cap really is? Is it 19,000? Is it 21,000? Are they going to be a little loose with it? I'm really interested now in the Clemson game, in what that will look like if and when it happens. But yeah, I thought the crowd against Carolina, I don't think it made that big a difference, but it made a difference. And so
financially though, Corey, he's talking about financially. Do you think?
I think financially, you're talking about. If they raised it to half, I think you're talking about maybe another million and a half if they raise the capacity. But man, I'll be honest with you, I don't know for this game coming up particularly. I don't know how many more people would want to be there. I don't think this is a hot ticket item. I don't know that they would sell out or sell 10,000 or 15 or 20,000 more tickets. That Clemson game would be interesting though. But Yeah, I mean, that's why Florida State wants to still play the game. You know, $2 million isn't $7 million, but it's better than zero. I think all of us millionaires understand that $2 million is better than zero. So yeah, I do think that they need that money, and losing it has not been great, but they're trying to make the best out of a bad situation.
Then my second question would be, I know the Civic Center is only saying that they're going to have like 2,600. I think, don't the Civic Center, is it the Civic Center's capacity around 11 to 13,000? Couldn't they get maybe 5,000 or 6,000 in there and still have plenty of room?
Well, here's the thing with that. They could. I don't think so. I don't think you're talking about indoors. It spreads at a much higher rate indoors.
But then also, Corey, I mean, DeSantis, I think, is everything's go, man. Like, I mean, Florida State could.
Yeah, I got it. They could, but I don't know that. Number one, this thing is hanging on by a thread anyway right now. This college basketball season, you want to keep the risk to your players mitigated. Not that they're going to die from it, but if they catch it at all from anyone, you're done for 2 weeks. For now, the whole team has to shut down for 2 weeks. So they don't want to risk it for what would amount to be, a few $1,000s. They don't want to do that. And I can tell you this much: Leonard Hamilton does not want to do that. I know Leonard Hamilton looks like he's 44. He isn't, and he wants to be as safe as possible. Number one, for his own health, for his coach's health, for his players' health, but also he wants this season to happen. And so they want to mitigate the risk as much as possible until they can. They would make some money from it, especially for the big games. But like some of these schools, Daryl, they're not having any fans. Pitt said they're going to have like 100 fans. Duke's not having anybody at Cameron, and I think the NBA, at least like the Atlanta Hawks announced, they're just having family of employees can watch the games to start out. So this is an ongoing thing. By February, when we really get into the conference race, and people really want to show up those games, it might be different. Heck, we all might have the vaccine by then. But for now, they might even. We'll see. I guess they'll hold firm at that 2,000 or 2,500. But yeah, I think to answer the original question, I think the attendance is like 11,600 is what that place seats when it's a sellout. I think that's right, 11,600 or 10,600, somewhere in the 11,000 neighborhood.
Yeah. All right, Daryl.
I was just thinking about they're talking about how they're in the red and everything. I was just thinking about maybe what how to generate some some new revenue, and I was just thinking about some ideas I had that popped off the top of my head or something like that. But y'all have a great week. I hope y'all have a safe holiday, and go Noles, and we love y'all guys. Bye bye.
Appreciate it, Daryl. I almost said Merry Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours as well, man. You stay safe out there. We appreciate the call as always.
Thank you, Daryl.
Subscriber to warchant.com. Let's hop back over to warchant.com. Big Steve 022 says, "What's up, fellas? Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Hope you all enjoy a wonderful Turkey Day. I want to start off by saying thank you guys for all the wonderful entertainment during this crazy year. From my son going through 2 heart surgeries to the pandemic, the election, etc. Tuning into Wake Up has always served as my escape, and I thank you guys for that." Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Steve. We appreciate you being a part of it.
Can we talk politics, Corey? No, we're not allowed to?
Yeah, let's go ahead. It's okay.
I know much is not expected from the team the rest of the year, regardless of what comes from this Clemson situation, but do you think this whole thing sets up Florida State to end strong, not including potentially rescheduling the Clemson game, for them to use all the criticism to bring out some competitiveness? My quick take on this, right move, seeing how Clemson University leads the nation in confirmed cases. How could you be careless and negligent? Not sure why FSU got so much criticism. If we end up playing Clemson, you guys should do an over-under on personal fouls. As always, go Noles.
That second paragraph is something you brought up, Aslan, right? I think you were bringing it up. I thought maybe you were bringing it up more for when they play Clemson. But I think maybe you weren't. I don't remember, about rallying around the flag. I am really interested to see how they handle what they look like on Saturday. Because, look, we can talk about heart and effort and grit and everything, and it's one of these things that's, you know it when you see it kind of thing. It's hard to describe what it looks like, but you know it when you see it. And we know it when we see it, right? We watch teams that play really hard, that fly around. that play aggressive and competitive and fight for balls. And I want to see if anything comes out like that, if they look anything like that, and if this resonates with them at all, because it could, to a sense, you know what I mean? Look, by the way, they haven't been criticized by anybody but Dabo in the AD. Like, nobody else has really criticized Florida State at all. Nobody that matters has criticized Florida State at all for how they handled Saturday. But Dabo is so loud and so talkative and so persistent that it seems like Florida State's just under constant attack, but it's by the one guy. But, you know, I am interested to see. It would be, because, again, I think Florida State, the whole fan base, the whole program, their pride was questioned. Their manhood, womanhood, however you identify with this Florida State team, you know, if you're a woman fan, that was a really awkward way of saying that. If you're a woman, I didn't want to just limit it to men can have their pride questioned when it comes to this program. Women can be too. And you're proud of this program, rightly so. It's one of the best programs in the United States and has been for 4 decades. So when you have Dabo throwing you under the bus for being cowards, you do kind of bow up. And you want to see if the players have as much pride as maybe you do in your institution. So it'll be interesting to see how they, not just how they play against Clemson, because that's not going to be pretty no matter how hard they try, but how they play this week against Virginia and Duke, you know?
Yeah. No, I think it's fair to make some sort of, you know, judgment on how this team does respond and whether or not they do believe in the approach of what's going on. Because, yeah, I mean, if they limp through the rest of this season, if they don't play Clemson, if they do play Clemson in the final game of the year, most likely, like, where do you find the motivation to really go after it in spring football? I mean, they're not pros, but they know why they're at Florida State. They're on scholarship to play football, but it will be hard to imagine them really. They'll say all the right things, but in the back of their mind, what they've gone through this year, how rocky it's been, if they can't find a way to rally around this right now and, you know, get a win, don't lose to Duke, right? We still have that. We haven't lost to them yet. You need something positive to build off of, because, yeah, man, we want these kids to do better and we want them to play harder and we want them to, you know, make plays and things. But, man, it'd be nice if something could kind of break their way. That would help. That would help.
Well, it makes you worry a little bit the way Norvell talked about him on Tuesday after all this, that they came out and I don't know that he's been that down after a practice all season. Certainly not lately, but he said they were inconsistent. They're still trying to find the standard that they're supposed to practice with and prepare with. And that doesn't bode well, in my opinion, for a Tuesday when you've just been, dragged through the mud by the king of the conference for 3 days. And then you come out and you don't really give it your all or give it your focus. That's not a great sign. But then that's also the sign of a bad team, which is what this is.
Well, but then that's the thing. Like, how do you flip that? I mean, you can purge it. You can go to the transfer portal. Like, I've started following the Rivals transfer portal on Twitter, which I recommend folks do as well. Man, a lot of these guys, like De'Aaron King, is the exception to the rule. They got lucky sort of with Devontae Love-Taylor, Fabian Lovett to a certain degree. Man, all these guys I see popping up on the transfer portal, these are kids that have 3 career tackles out of school. These are kids that got 5 career receptions for 6.
Have you seen Grubb yet? Has Grubb shown up on it yet?
I haven't seen.
Since we brought his name up, which I feel like was 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, Louisiana Tech hasn't played a game. Every week their game gets canceled because of COVID. So heaven knows he's not going to want to come to Florida State, who just willy-nilly cancels games because one guy tests positive. That's a joke. I keep waiting to see if Grubbs has like a 14 tackle game. And they never play.
Let's see here. We'll grab that one in a second. Let's go to this. The leader, 2365 Abel, throwing $20 our way. That's very generous. That's very kind of you.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Big ballin', smashing, making my
All right. Do you guys think that the way Dabo is talking crap will help with recruits because it will make some recruits want to go to FSU just to shut Dabo up?
I don't think that, but I do think that there could be an end game here where, and we can go. I'm not going to go into all the times he opened his mouth and said not smart things this summer and spring. But whether it's about social justice, wearing a Football Matters T-shirt at a time in this country when that wasn't maybe the best thing to get your picture taken wearing. To the COVID matters that he's been wrong about literally since March and April up until now, and half his team tested positive.
I think the shirt might have been an old photo, but it resurfaced at a bad time. But
oh, is that what it was? I thought it was an old shirt that he he just happened to wear. I can't remember, but anyway, it was bad timing, bad look. It's fine. Wasn't that big a deal. But then the stuff he said wasn't great either. On top of the stuff he said about COVID, and the stuff he said about paying players. And but I look, the people that play for him, you have to give Dabo this, man. He might be enemy number one right now at Florida State, rightfully so. But the kids that play for him love him almost to a man. They come back for another year. They turn down millions of dollars to play for him again. They love him and they love that program. And the fans are all in. They're all on that bus. So you would like to think that, but so far it hasn't really proven itself. Like Dabo's been saying pretty dumb stuff for a while. He's never said in my opinion, anything this outrageous, especially in the middle of a global pandemic. But we'll see. I would love to think that maybe that happens, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. For all we know, Trevor Lawrence is going to come back and play another 2 years.
The leader, 2365 Abel. We do appreciate it. Let's hop over
By
now.
the way, the guy, it was Justin Amon who wore number 64 on the 99 team.
Okay.
But was it JK 99?
JK 64_99.
Yeah. I want to know the story with the bulldog because I've always wanted to get a bulldog, and I wonder if that's his bulldog or her bulldog, and how what it's like to take care of one, because I hear they're a nightmare. But man, can you imagine like just going to sleep next to a big old fat bulldog, just cuddling with it like a pillow? How awesome that would be.
And it snores and drools everywhere and sheds. I can.
That's fine. It's just like me.
Totally imagine it. Let's grab a phone call. It's our friend down in Napoli, down in Naples. It's the Mark. Mark, what's going on, man? We appreciate you. How you doing?
Hey guys, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Thank you so much for everything. I mean, you already took my question. I'm super pissed off with everything that's gone on this week, and Aslan, you might have to get your bleeping machine out.
I don't have a bleeping machine. We're live. We're live, but we don't have the FCC on us. We're good. Let it flip. Let it ride.
No, we're not going to go there. I just, you already took my question. I don't know if this is breaking Wake Up Warchant protocol, but my wife has something to say because of her concern about the amount of time I spend on Wake Up Warchant.
Oh, okay, great.
How are you?
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
This is Adam Check. How are you?
Hi. I'm awesome. My name is Lauren.
Lauren.
And I wanted to maybe talk about starting something called Wives of Warchant.
Oh, okay.
All right. You got a plan? You got like a business plan here?
Yeah, it's like a group for all of us wives while our husbands are listening to you guys, all of your amazing, commentary and information. And, my husband spends a lot of time listening to you guys.
So do we get to host that too?
Yeah, you can host it or I can host it.
Great. Yeah, that would be awesome. Well, Stephanie, that might be a delicate. Stephanie not my wife. But she's essentially my wife, right, Aslan? Except for the title and the ring and everything, common law. She could host it for sure, and y'all could talk about whatever. But either way, we really appreciate your husband. He's one of the pillars of the show. I don't know if he's told you that.
Keep him around. He's a good guy.
Yeah, really good guy.
No, I totally heard. He's just, you know what? I'm going to be contacting you guys about some possible like Christmas gifts, maybe like a T-shirt. This is like Pillar of Warchant.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good idea. That's perfect.
It might be something that you want to, put together.
Okay. All right. Thank you, love. Thank you, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. You said it all. You've said it all. And let's just beat Virginia. Let's hope we come out with the energy like we did against UNC and get it done.
That's right.
But we have a bulldog.
Oh, they've got a
bulldog. There we go. Mark, there we go. So I want you on your next time, when you call next week, I want you to explain to me in detail how big a hassle it is, how big a pain in the butt it is to have a bulldog. But that's for next week.
Yes, sir.
Mark and Lauren from Naples. Matt AMCZ. Thanks for the call. Have a happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Look, folks, here's the deal. If you donate a certain amount of money, if you tip us a certain amount of money, You can put any family member on the phone. We'll talk to any of them. Grandmom, little baby, the dog. It doesn't matter. We'll talk to any of them. Now, that was a very nice woman, Lauren. And that's not a bad idea. It wouldn't be a weekly show, but maybe a monthly show for the wives and girlfriends to get together and lament how awesome we are.
And it's not a bad hobby. There's plenty of other bad things out there in the world. Worse is coming and talking about football and your favorite team with a bunch of people, strangers on the internet. Let's keep it with the phone calls. Let's go to the villages. This is Wes. Wes, what's going on, man?
Hey guys, how's the guys that run the #1 podcast in America doing?
I don't know. We'll get Joe Rogan on here. We'll see what he's doing.
We'll ask Mark Maron. Yeah. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you, man.
You guys do a great job. I spend a lot of time on the road for work, and it's always nice to listen to the podcast and hear what's going on. Unfortunately, why Dabo Sweeney is controlling the narrative, and we probably could stop talking about him starting tomorrow or whatever. But
I think now is a good time.
I don't need to go on that tangent anymore. I did want to ask you guys: did you hear anything about Dante Lucas not coming back next semester?
You want to do it, Corey? You want to handle it?
No, you go for it. You go for it.
Oh, you go for it. You go for it.
No, well, yes, there's been rumors and rumblings.
There's smoke.
Smoke.
We think there's a fire too, probably.
And Wes, let me ask you, as a Florida State fan, and I'm not trying to take a shot at the kid. He might end up being an All-American if he does indeed go somewhere else. But from these Landon
Dickerson.
He could be, or he could just be the kid that grades out 58 every game, which is what he's been at Florida State. Would you be upset if he left, or do you think that could be an addition by subtraction if he left?
Okay, so I'm going to say both in a sense. One, to make you laugh. Him staying, it would be nice if we play. If he's here for the Clemson game, he can be the one that swings on one of the players and gets them knocked out like he did, cost us that penalty in that game. Well, this would knock Clemson player out maybe or something. But
that's a great idea. That could be his last parting gift. That could be a parting gift for Florida State, is to get Trevor Lawrence.
I would say addition by subtraction. He's had some issues, and this year he hasn't had the greatest year, and so I feel like it's more about Norvell and just weeding out people that just don't want to be there. It's just got you can't say it enough. You just got to get rid of the guys that don't want to be there, and you got to have the guys that want to be there and want to turn this thing around. If you don't want to be there, then it's time to move on. It's that simple.
By the way, a little bit of a spoiler for later on the week. Again, we had Brett Rollins from Pro Football Focus join us on the pod. He'll be on Friday, but he talked about some of the grain they do here on Pro Football Focus, Corey. And so you would know 60 is basically like your baseline. I guess like your WAR would be 0, pretty much. So like anything below 60 is just you're subpar. So like even a 60 is nothing really to brag about. 60, like you're just being kind of average. It's the bar is set there. So the grades of Dante Lucas here on the screen, and I don't know if it's addition by subtraction. I just hate when we're talking about a guy that was preseason number 5 on our preseason top 40, and then we're like, it's not a big deal.
But look at what he's done, and look, it's not like you can use PFF as the sole arbiter of who's played well and who hasn't. But it's not like he jumps off the screen ever. He has not had a good season, even if you just use your eyes. And it's almost, is it worth it? Why did he miss the first half of the NC State game? I assume it was a disciplinary measure. I think he missed another game, right? Am I not? He missed the game last year. He's had some run-ins where it hasn't been great. He's had bad personal fouls. And then you look at those grades, man, he hasn't graded over 54.3, except for the last game against NC State where he only played half. He's grading out at 47.7. He has been a bad offensive lineman. And frankly, you've got to get to the point where these guys, where if they don't want to be here, and I'm projecting here, we don't know what Dante Lucas is going to do. This is speaking more for all of them. If you don't want to be here, don't be here, because you're not going to end up winning with guys that don't want to be here. This next 2 years, you've got to have guys that are bought in completely, that are willing to do the work to raise it up. And if you feel like you're better than Florida State, or you want to be somewhere else, then go somewhere else. And they can get a 48 season grade from a lot of different dudes in this country that would be happy to be at Florida State, including Thomas Schrader, probably.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Wes. We're aware that there's rumors about it going out there, and it sounds like it's trending in that way where he might not be part of this program moving forward, but we have not been able to confirm it quite yet. But, it's the tea leaves are there. You can read them.
Right. You can read between the lines. Hey, did you guys hear or see the tweet Tamorian Terry put out and then took it down almost immediately?
Yeah, let me pull that up for you, Corey. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Corey. I'll pull it up here. I'm
talk about the people that don't want to be there.
Yeah, I'm kind of like an athlete apologist here. Actually, I don't know if this is the one you're talking about or not, Wes, but this is the one that I saw earlier that he deleted. It was if I say what Florida State doing right now, it will be some problems because it's not right.
That's it.
Maybe maybe he doesn't have access to the facility that he wants to use. But then again, I mean, he didn't opt out. He's no longer part of the program is the way that Norvell characterized it. So I would hope he realized that when you're not part of the program, like you lose all the perks. You can kind of opt out, maybe like what Marvin Wilson's done and still be around the team. But when you're not part of the program, you don't get the good stuff.
My point is you put that nonsense out there and then you immediately take it down. Like, come on. Like,
yes, you have some conviction. Stand by it or don't. Like,
if you're moving on, you're moving on.
Exactly. That's again, it's another example of maybe that's a guy, not maybe, it's a guy that didn't want to be here, that wasn't good for the program, even though he was maybe good for this offense if he's healthy. He wasn't good for the future of the program. Maybe if you have guys that are going to publicly complain about it all the time. And again, we can take all the shots at Dabo we want. They don't really do that at Clemson, do they?
No.
So right. Hey, one other positive before I go. So we hit on two players with kind of a negative connotation. Did you guys hear about the linebacker from Vanderbilt that hit the portal that was like awesome there? I have to pull it up real quick, his name, but apparently Marv was his primary recruiter. So I know we talk about that kid from La Tech or where Corey got.
We'll take it.
Not that guy, Tyler Grubbs.
Tyler Grubbs, man, come on, show some respect. Show some respect.
Yeah, I knew that was wrong. Grubbs, I couldn't remember, but the kid from Vanderbilt, Marv recruited, and he hit the portal. So that guy can come in and be immediate impact. That's a little bit better. You guys haven't heard about that.
That's a little bit better. 219 tackles and 10 TFLs and 30 career games. That's production. But I mean, like if you look, that's good pointing out there, Wes. We appreciate it. But I mean, look at some of these other guys. Redshirt last season, played in 4 games. I mean, there's a guy here. Let's see here, 167 rushing yards and one. There's not a lot of good stuff in the portal right now. Hopefully, once the season ends, some people decide to try to find greener pastures. But this is a good find, though, Wes. That's a good find.
Yeah, 99 total tackles last season, and 84 and 18. And his name is Dimitri Moore.
Yeah, we got him. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, hey, he can. Him and Grubbs can fight it out, along with Emmett Rice, who's coming back. Yeah. All of a sudden, linebackers are strength. Yeah.
All right, Wes, we appreciate it, man. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, guys. Take care.
For sure.
Thank you, buddy. Hey, by the way, Aslan, before you get rid of that screen, how about what's that DM all about? Who slid up into your DMs right there?
Oh, yeah, let me pull it up. I think it's actually about you.
No, don't do that.
You want me to do that?
That was crazy. That was really risky, I thought. You're just going to show the world your DMs?
It was somebody was saying something about I owed them a beer because I had said if they stumped Corey, I'd give them a beer. Like, let me know. I'll Venmo you the money. I'm not walking into a bar on game day around campus. Call me a sissy. But, I mean, I won't squelch on my bet or whatever. I'll buy you a drink, but I won't be at the bar with you. Let's keep this thing moving. We do have some phone calls, but let me see here. We got this guy. We're talking about
B.
Jimmy B. Let's go. Horn gang for life. That was for you too, John Scott.
Dollar bills, y'all.
All up in your grill. Corey Clark, all up in your grill, everybody, for now. What? Sorry about Tua, by the way, James. Hopefully he bounces back. You put the Dolphins logo up, and then Tua has a bad game. James B says, happy Thanksgiving, fellas, after he kindly gives us $50 American. I saw the Dabo double down today. I hope Norvell is cutting these clippings and filing away video clips to use as fuel next year and beyond. Keep talking, Dabo.
Yeah, that's going to – I mean, that'll certainly it's gotten into Norvell's craw. Thank you very much, James B. That's very, very nice. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. and everybody that's wished us a happy Thanksgiving, even the people that haven't wished us a happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. We really appreciate it. But thank you very much for the tip. That's very, very thoughtful. And yeah, don't you? I mean, this is something that's Norvell's not going to end up being like buddy with Dabo. Maybe they squash it in May at like the ACC meetings or something, and they come to an understanding. But right now, you better know that Norvell is as mad as Dabo is, but Norvell's rightfully mad. So you hope it gives it. I don't think Norvell needs a lot of spark anyway to like work harder, but you hope this gives him a little bit to like, I want to get where he is soon.
A fellow pillar of the show, Ray Pereira, says, Happy Thanksgiving. I'm naming my turkey Dabo.
There you go. And you're going to eat it. Succulent. Dark. Are you a dark meat guy or a white meat guy, Aslan?
I think I am a white meat guy, I think. I know I am with like chicken, but I think on Thanksgiving I'll eat any part of the turkey.
You'll just get after it. The neck.
Yeah.
The wing.
Not the neck. I don't get that carried away. By the way, Ray, if you're out there, let this guy know, Jeremy Martin, how come Aslan never wears anything FSU? I mean, I don't know why the question isn't why doesn't Corey ever wear anything FSU, but we're going to go at me.
I'm wearing a Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Look at that. I'm representing the Peach Bowl from 2015.
The good old days. Let him know, Ray. I actually wore a Florida State polo on this show one time. I assure you I did such a thing.
Well, and if you look behind Aslan, he's got some Florida State memorabilia. I just got a blinds.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. These are the questions people have. Let's grab a phone call. We got one. Oh, no. The call line just dropped. Why would it do that? Let me see if I can still answer this. I don't think I can. Let's pivot back to our friends over at the warchant.com Tribal Council. It is a kind of a Renegade Express edition of the program. Again, with the holiday coming up, Thanksgiving that is, we'll be taking Thursday off, so we wanted to get some folks up on the ponies. I know we don't want to talk too much about Dabo, but I thought this was pretty cool. This comes from SB Nole. Says, love the show, guys. I don't normally post. Let's see the demo on this person. All right, they've been around since 2019, September 24th. They've posted 79 times. So, yeah, they don't normally post. They're in Columbia.
That's about, what's that, about 3? That's about 5-6 times a month.
Yeah.
That's pretty sporadic.
Yeah. Okay, love the show, guys. I don't normally post, but I feel the need because the Clemson situation is asinine. My wife is an epidemiologist here in Columbia. Her degrees, undergrad and MPH. I think
that stands for miles per hour.
Okay, there you go. Her miles per hour degree.
Yeah.
Master's in public health. We get it.
Oh, that too. Okay. All right.
Her degrees are all from UF. She has a coworker who's also an epidemiologist, I guess.
That's that's ESPN Power Index.
Okay. All right. She works at ESPN Power Index. That went to undergrad at Clemson, got her MPH at Tulane. They both hate FSU, but say that FSU made the right decision. They're only disease experts, though. So my question is, should we be listening to Dr. Dibdab instead? Noles 6 says, wake up. One question, why is Dabo such a crybaby? Grow up already, Dabs. Yeah, it's but he's not pretending to be a doctor either. He trusts their doctors.
Yeah, he didn't like that his medical personnel were being attacked. And nobody attacked Clemson's medical personnel. Florida State just didn't want to play. And then Dabo made it into an attack. But it is what it is. What can you possibly do? What else could I possibly say? But I'm sure he's going to come out and say or do something dumber in the next day or two, and then just wait until game week when he's going to, if they have a game week, which I assume they will, and he's going to complain the whole week about having to go back down to Tallahassee again. And the thing is, he has his opinion, and he's right. It's a wrong opinion, but he has a right to have an opinion. It's just he never feels the need to say, you know what, we're through with that. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. It's fine. I appreciate what they tried to do. I disagreed with it, but we're going to move on. No, he's going to continue to call FSU cowards and refer to Norvell as their coach and talk about how many years he's been at Clemson and that Florida State is struggling.
Host and call screener line.
I was hoping you were going to go on a
enter
heater
your show number and press pound.
Here, Corey.
What?
I was hoping you were going to go on a heater so I could just call back into our phone line thing to get it back up and running, but I'm going to do this live on the fly so everybody can see what's going on. Sorry.
I've gone on too many heaters about Dabo.
You have. And that's all the remaining questions are all
enter
about
your
him as well.
6-digit PIN number.
Hopefully people aren't listening to this and guessing my PIN number and everything.
Can you do that from the tone?
You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
Here's a pillar of the program. Redbeard, Aslan, I'm a former Montana guy myself. I'm going to Missoula for Christmas. Nice. That was in Bozeman, like 5 hours away, but still, I've been to Missoula. I always tell the story about covering the Brawl of the Wild game, as they call it, Corey, Montana.
They call it the what?
The Brawl of the Wild. Not the Call of the Wild, but the Brawl of the Wild. Brawl.
That's pretty dumb.
It was Sunshine Showdown brought to you by...
Oh, no, that's as dumb as any. That's the worst. But Brawl of the Wild, how about I could think for 4 minutes and come up with something better than that.
It's Montana, man. It's the West. It's the last...
How about like the Bear Pit or something like that? You got Bedlam. You got, the Apple Cup is pretty dumb too, but at least it references the state.
Yeah.
I don't know. Brawl of the Wild. I don't like that. I don't like the inference of a brawl. You don't want to have a brawl on your field anyway. We got to do better than that, Montana. Come on.
How
about the Shotgun Showdown?
They can't even call it the Red River Shootout anymore.
Man, they don't care in Montana. They can call it whatever they want. Nobody goes there. That's cool though that Redbeard's going to Missoula for Christmas.
Yeah.
Wonder what the backstory is there.
Well, he's a former Montana guy. He's probably got family.
Oh, I got you. Well, that makes sense. It was right there in the first sentence.
That's right. Is Jordan Travis looking healthy enough for Virginia?
Yeah. It sounded like it from Norvell, right? Unless he's pulling our leg and doesn't want them to prepare for Rodemaker. He said that Jordan had looked pretty good in practice and had a good practice on Tuesday. He said he threw the deep ball well, so we assume he's he's not just on a bike, but he's actually running the offense. So. Norvell said that it was a game. I guess Rodemaker pointed that out, that it was a game time decision on Saturday who was going to start. And I think Norvell might have said as much, but then Tuesday Norvell spoke glowingly about Jordan Travis and the way he practiced. So we'll see.
Chris Smith says, I think I'm still on hold, or did I lose you guys? I think we still got you. Let's go ahead and grab you. You've been waiting there for a while. Sorry, the phone line dropped off. Is this Chris in Perry, Georgia?
It is. What's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
What's up, Chris? How are you, buddy?
I'm pretty good. Got a little advice for you guys. I'm a pitmaster for a competition barbecue team, so just take it from me that a thigh is the best part of any piece of poultry.
Okay.
Chicken, turkey, ostrich, whatever.
Okay.
He said a thigh is?
So anyway.
Yeah.
Now, isn't a thigh is dark meat, right?
Moisture and have the same. What's up?
A thigh is dark meat, right?
It is. It is.
Okay, yeah, that's my favorite. That's my go-to. Thigh. I love the thighs. Come on, edit that out.
But anyway, first off, I didn't know Dabo was a hypocrite, but just imagine if somebody else rolled into a Clemson with, tested positive players, and, they would flip their lid about not having chances of making playoffs because they lost guys. But anyway, got a question for you guys. The traditions about Florida State, going to Thomasville, have they cut that type of stuff out, for COVID? And do they plan on picking that kind of stuff up in the future after this? Because I feel like that kind of stuff's important. And, can we get people like Wart Dunn to come down and travel with the team up to Thomasville? Can we get stuff like that? That's going to help bring back the stuff.
Yeah, I didn't even thought about that. But getting like former players to be a part of the team, like on a game weekend, I would do that all the time if I was Norvell. I'd ask them to anyway. And there are plenty of guys that are willing to do it. Maybe not Warwick Dunn, but other guys that were part of the dynasty years that would be happy to donate their time and wisdom to the team and in like camaraderie, just to show them what they're fighting for and who came before them. I think that's a really good idea. As far as the hotels, they stopped going to Thomasville during the Jimbo era, and I think they went to Wakulla instead, which it's the similar distance, I guess, and they're certainly not, metropolises. I don't remember, Aslan. I think we asked. I don't think they were doing that this year, were they?
I don't recollect.
I thought I remembered that Norvell had said they weren't going to do that this year. But then, when he was talking about when they found out that they were not going to play the game, I feel like he and one of the coaches said all the players had come down. They were in their suits. They were eating breakfast, and I'm like, okay, come down from their rooms then? I didn't know where that took place. That's something we do need to look into. I do think that moving forward, Norvell will want to do that. I think he is about that. I don't know if it's about Thomasville instead of the holiday.
The B and Brotherhood core, or the B and Climb core is brotherhood.
Yeah, and the brotherhood, if you're a brother, you stay at a hotel together.
Yeah.
So you go on the road, a little road trip action. So I do think that that's something that he will do is have the hotels the night before the game, even at home. But this year, trying to cut costs. Obviously, you have this COVID situation. I don't think they were doing that this year because they wanted to keep those situations to a minimum. But I think in the future, he does think that's important.
Anything else for us, Chris? Pitmaster.
No, just thanks. No, just wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving, and hopefully the players have a good Thanksgiving. I know a lot of them spend that time away from home. I had to do that same thing when I was playing ball, so it's nice when people acknowledge that. But anyway, good talking to you guys.
Hey, real quick, Chris, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? What does a pitmaster put on the table for his family and loved ones on Thanksgiving?
Well, I can't interrupt tradition, so my grandmother's still going to bake the turkey, but I am going to smoke a ham.
Okay. All right. I figured you'd smoke a turkey too.
Yeah, I'm a big smoked turkey guy.
I want to. It's really good, but like I said, tradition. Yeah. My grandmother.
She's calling the shots. Understood.
Right on. All right, Chris, we appreciate it, man. You have a happy Thanksgiving as well.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, man, like I said, my dad used to have this guy around the neighborhood, Mr. Charles. He would smoke turkeys. Amazing, delicious. I love it. It's part of my childhood. I miss it. I haven't had a smoked turkey in a long, long while.
Man, smoked turkey is the best.
Yeah, it's solid. Man, so many people want to talk about Dabo, like even over on the tribal council, and there are our subscribers. I don't want to skip them out. JCC 1213, wake up. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Someone please tell Dabo that FSU could change out coaches 3 more times in the next 4 years, and Clemson still wouldn't have a winning record against the Seminoles. There you go. Let him know. He used to be somewhat humble. Now he comes off like the trashy cousin that just came into new money. No class. Ooh.
Yeah. Again, I just think he doesn't. It's almost like you have to kind of pat him on the head. Like he just doesn't know any better. He's maybe he's not. Well, I'm not going to even go there. He's done a wonderful job for that program, and he's brought a lot of esteem to this conference. That program is one of the best in the country. It's just there's nobody there. Jimbo didn't really have one either when he was here rolling in the mid 210s. Is that what we call it? The 210s? like they're rims or something. He doesn't have anybody to tell him, Dabo, nobody needs to hear that. Nobody needs to hear your opinion. Or you're wrong. You're allowed to admit you're wrong. You're allowed to admit my mistake. And he has such strong opinions when they're not educated opinions. And that's what's so troubling. In my opinion, they're not educated.
Sorry. Maybe JCC 1213, I don't know if that's your wife. Maybe she wants to join Wives of Warchant, the upcoming podcast from Lauren Adams.
Slow down, Aslan. Slow down. Slow down. Come on, man. If she's in his avatar, they're obviously very much connected. You don't need to be – come on now.
Well,
I see what you're doing.
I'm not doing anything. By the way, Ira, on my phone, a friend, the team no longer – they haven't been staying in Thomasville this year. They've been staying in town. They've been staying at a hotel, but it's in town. I won't say.
So they are staying at a hotel.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So that's what's going on. Scott Chastain, what's going on, man? Appreciate that. $20 coming our way. That deserves a little bit of this. Deserves a little bit of that.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Appreciate that. Just wants to say happy Thanksgiving to you and I, Corey. Time to team up, or time for the team to step up, rather, and beat Virginia. Man, that would be nice.
It would be nice. It would be nice. North Carolina's, they only have 2. North Carolina was the last win. That seems like a year and a half ago. It'd be good on a Sunday morning to wake up and feel pretty good, just to feel okay about your program again for a day. That would be nice. So let's hope they do it. Let's hope they find a way to beat that juggernaut.
Ray says, Corey, if our defensive backs play 8 yards off the ball again this week, I'm falling off the Fuller train.
I feel like I'm off the train. I'm hanging on by the ladder on the back, like just kind of being dragged through the railroad tracks. Yes, it would be nice to see them be a little more aggressive on the ball and maybe don't make so many third down passes seem so easy. That would be nice. Let's hope that happens.
All right, let's see here. I think we got one final call. Let's take that, and then that'll be a wrap for us on the program. We'll maybe try to get some more of these. Hey, again, everybody just and I get it, and I understand. We don't like Dabo. Let me see here. Tenor Noel says, wake. Oh, no, he wants to just talk about supporting the boosters, which is fine. He used to leave us voicemails. Dirk from Claremont, love the show. Used to call in and leave you voicemails. Because of this crazy season and the lunatic Dabo, I've now become a Seminole booster. Oh, that's awesome. Congrats. That's great.
There you go. That's good news. That's good news.
I'm a UCF grad, but I've always been a Nole at heart. I encourage everyone to help out the school that has provided us with so much joy for so many years. Join boosters so we can get back to our winning ways and kick Clemson's butt. Keep up the great content. Appreciate that. A-Buck.
Agreed. Join the boosters if you can, if you're not already. That they could always use it, even if you're a minor, even if it's like what, $50, $100 a year, $200 a year. Every little bit matters.
A-Buck, wake up, guys. No question. Just want to make a statement that I used to like Dabo and what he's done for Clemson's program, but I have now lost all respect. He's acting like a little bleep. How classless is he? He is making the comment about our coaching turnover. I hope that lights a fire under our players' butts, especially the underclassmen, to do what needs to be done to be competitive again so we can stick it to him. The way he's acting reminds me of another coach that I thoroughly despise ever since his negative post-game comments about Bobby. That's Bob Stoops. What did Bob Stoops say about Bobby?
I don't know. I don't remember that. I was pretty drunk at that game. Maybe he said, I'm the best Bobby. I'm the new Bobby now. I'm the Bobby running.
Kudos to Coach Norvell for taking the high road. All right, we got some other ones. We'll get to those tomorrow. We got a caller that's been waiting on the line for a good bit. Let me see if I got the name of the caller. It's Christian in Tampa. He wants to talk about an actual football game. That's pretty cool. What's up, Christian?
Hey, so first I got to say I love this show. And my question is about the defensive back. So for the last 4 years, we had Stanford Samuel and T-Mac both playing defensive back for Florida State, which I consider DBU, but they ran a 4.6 40 at the combine. I always wondered, like, how does that happen when we have the deepest cornerback classes back-to-back for the last couple of years? And then my second follow-up question, if you guys don't mind answering, is who do we think would run worse than a 4.6 in our defensive backfield this year?
Oh,
I like that. You want me to be mean? That's a piece of cake.
Yeah, that's right up Aslan's alley. I wonder, man, the guys that run the crazy times at the combine, there are some DBs, but it seems like more and more it's becoming wide receivers and running backs. Like and maybe that's always been the case. We just, again, when you're around DBU and you see the Deions and the T-Bucks of the world, and you're used to the great athletes being on that side of the ball or being cornerbacks, maybe it's hard to process that maybe the guys that are just a tick slower but are longer, they put on the defensive side of the ball. But then there's Jalen Ramsey, who's probably as fast as anyone. I don't know what the deal is with the slower 40 times.
Is the question almost not to a certain degree here, Christian and Corey, like who on the team that plays defensive back would run better than a 4.6? Like.
Well, I see that I saw Clemson's wide receivers all run 4.6. 4.3s and 4.4s. And when we played Clemson, it was obvious on the field. And so I think some of our defensive backs are getting beat deep because they can't run fast, not because they don't know the technique.
Yeah, there's something to that, and for sure. And it's also a reason why a guy might be open 18 yards downfield, wide open, because you're so scared of getting beat deep. That it's like a guy that doesn't have great bat speed in baseball. Hang with this analogy, Aslan. It's going to be a good one. He doesn't have great bat speed in baseball, so he has to start his swing just a little bit quicker, which when it's a slider, he's going to be out in front and miss. He might be able to catch up with the fastball, but he has to cheat. But that makes him a bad hitter when you're having to cheat. And when a cornerback, if you're having to cheat and you're so worried about getting beat deep that you start running a sprint because you're 6 yards in front of him, essentially when the play starts, that I'm not going to let him run by me. I'm going to go ahead I got a head start. I'm going to beat him. And then he does a stop or he turns you around and he's wide open for 18 yards. I think Asante can run. He certainly doesn't seem like a guy that's afraid of getting beat deep. The other guys, it's really hard to know. I think Akeem Dent, at least last year, I saw flashes where that dude looked like he could really run. And then this year, I haven't seen any flashes at all. It's been a bunch of fizzle. But I think there's something to that. 4.4 quarterbacks don't grow on trees. They're not everywhere, but it sure would be nice if Florida State got some guys that were elite speed on that side of the ball. And I don't know that they have any. Maybe the Tate kid, the kid that hasn't been able to play this year, maybe he's going to be a fast guy. Chubb is a 4.4 guy. They could switch him to corner.
What was the second part, Christian?
And then who's the slowest defensive back? Who would you say is the slowest out there?
I mean, that's I don't know. Carlos Becker might have been to be a 4.4 guy, but Carlos Becker's been hurt his whole darn career. I don't know, maybe like Woody. Maybe Woody the third might be one of the slower-footed, heavy-footed guys. I won't call him slow, I'll call him heavy-footed. I mean, none of those safeties are even Travis Jay. I think with him being banged up, man. Travis Jay hasn't flashed. I don't know, maybe in a straight line in a 40 he could operate.
Yeah, I think he's got top end speed that can translate to this level and be elite, but he hasn't used it yet. We haven't seen it. I would say if we're going to go with safeties, that's a hard question. That's like asking us the ugliest girl we ever dated. But I've got an answer for that, by the way. But I would say Brendan Gant would be. He's a guy that doesn't seem to have that. I like some of his physicality. NC State notwithstanding, that was a train wreck. But I like some of the physicality, but he doesn't seem to me to have like elite athleticism. But I could be completely wrong. I just haven't seen enough.
He's rangy, but I don't think he's speedy. He makes up his longer limbs, longer levers, but yeah, not a lot of speed. We'll see. Hopefully, Virginia, I don't think has the most dynamic receiving core, so hopefully this gives them a little bit of confidence to play a little bit more aggressive. So hopefully we'll see. Christian, we appreciate the call.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Right.
Thanks, buddy. You too.
Happy Thanksgiving as well. That is a wrap on the show, but Corey, it's supposed to say it didn't say that now the show is over. But it's not over because of Zach West.
Zach Z-Dub.
What is going? Zach just coming out of nowhere. Last minute. If it wasn't for the last minute, nothing would get accomplished. 100. He gets everything. Give him the horn. Give him the horn. Give Wu-Tang. Give him Kenny Powers.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Give him Dion. Give him Pastor Troy. No, nothing. He just says enjoy listening to you guys, or enjoy listening you guys.
We knew what he meant. Don't make fun of him. He just gave us $100. Zach West, that's very, very nice, man. Thank you very much. That's above and beyond. We truly appreciate it. We truly appreciate all you guys, whether you tip us or not. The ones that tip us, obviously, maybe appreciate it a little more, but you all have a place in our hearts.
Zach West, we have a name like an award, like the Zach West Award, like just sneaking in at the last second. Like he's the guy that pulls up to the roulette table as the ball is just like about to stop spinning, just throws it down on a color and boom, hits it.
How about Zach Dark 30 because of the sneak attack there at the end?
Oh,
like Zero Dark 30. That's a good. That's not bad, right?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay,
you're putting down. All right, that's a wrap on the show. Everybody,
thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Have a very happy Thanksgiving. We will have a show for you folks on Friday. Do stay connected to War Chant because we'll have the War Chant Report, which is a special headlines edition. It's Jeff, Ira, and Corey talking about the Virginia game. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you to Zach, Scott, James B., the leader, 2365 Abel. I don't know if he's from Russia, the Ukraine, maybe Latvia. JK64_99, Steven Strasbaugh, Mark Adamchek. We appreciate the tips and we appreciate everybody.
And his lovely wife.
Yeah, Lauren.
Lauren, yeah.
Thank you so much. Stay connected to warchant.com. Your ultimate Seminole sports source. The promo code is on your screen. Nike 75. Keep using it. He's Corey. I'm Aslan. Thanks for watching and listening.